So there are certain policies that will create, right, that will be tied to this computer. So what are the policies? Let's take for instance, there might be applications, software. So it might be USB storage. Nobody should connect flash drives to this computer, right? So whether irrespective of the user account. So there are some policies that will create. It will be tied to a certain user account. That's why we have user account. But most times in Active Directory, most of the policies are binded to user accounts, right? So because that's what we look out first, right? Before we go to the computer aspect, because most times the firewalls and some advanced web protection will take charge of what the computer, the operation, and sometimes there's some endpoint protection too, right? So that can take charge of what computer does, right? So for group policy, right? So group policy is one very
And
essential.
if I still can I ask a question before you move?
Okay, go on, please.
Yeah, so this scenario you painted now, I want to paint a similar scenario in my organization, right? And we have a system used by different nurses, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so now if I give them separate user, they complain that okay, where they maybe, for example, user one stored for maybe did first shift and did some reports on our account. And when she wants to log in into when user two comes in for to take over, she logs in into her own account. She doesn't see that report
No, no,
on the
it
same
won't say.
system. On
Yes,
the same
so this
system.
is yes, so it won't say, they won't say. So this is what happens. Say, let me show you. Let me show
So
you. If
so
you
at the
if
end
you
of the
come
day,
here, right?
we now just okay,
Yeah, so if you come here, users, you will see their
yeah,
separate because this is an administrative account. So I can see
okay.
every other account. So you as the admin, when you log in, so they have their different directories. So from this part here. So because I'm an admin on this PC, so I can access every other environment. Even at that, with good policy management, we can set up a policy that nobody, even though you are the admin, domain admin, you cannot have access to certain environment. So based on, I don't know if you're done. I
I'm
just
not
thought of
done. I'm
something
not
like,
done.
okay, okay,
I'm
yeah,
So what I want to achieve is at the end of the day, we just have to give them with the former AD server, we just have to give them one account. So they're just logging in the other account. So is there a
okay.
situation where they can have their separate account and still access that same file that maybe you work and you run your reports and you save your files in this thing? Can it be done? Is it possible? So that I don't have to give them one, I don't have to give all of them one separate account.
So now so this is, let me come, this is it, right? So there are several ways you can achieve, that can be achieved. So let me come to, there are several ways it can be. Okay, okay. So this is where I was actually looking out for here. So there are several accounts only that will be here, guest and the likes. So this one here, right? This one is a member of administrator, right? So this one here is a member of, it's just a guest. It's not an administrator. So there are several accounts one will see here, right? So you know which one, but you cannot edit because you don't have that right. So you don't have that right. So now, based on what you said, so the central device itself, that particular machine, that particular pick one that I have here, that's the best way. So then the second alternative is going to be on the system. Then you have to share that file so everybody will have access to it. So whether you are so person, or I mean you are in morning shift or you are in afternoon shift. So let me pick one file here. I think I have a shared folder here. So this is a shared folder. So this folder has been shared on this network, right? So shared on this network, so everybody will have access to it, irrespective of the department or organization unit you belong. So why did I do it that way? Right. So because there are some tools that I want everyone to have access to. So once I share it, right? So I come when you say when you share it, if you want to share it, right? So who are you giving permission? Full every you are giving full permission, change, they can read and modify it if it's a document. So now if you want certain user to now have access to only that folder, right? So to be shared to, for them to even see, not even access now, right? So for it to be shared to them, then you pick the user here. So you pick the user test server, or you can pick multiple users that would have access, that folder will be seen if they try to whack into it. Then that's one. So then if you can now come to security, say, okay, who would access? This is another thing again, similar to what they would do, what you would do. So so this is, you can now pick the users as well. So there's a sharing aspect and security aspect. Then so that is that. Now, if you're doing it from your client's machine, not from the server. Now, I'm just saying normally you should access, you should all have access to a shared. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That's one of the scenario. You should all have access to a
Okay.
folder, right? So if it's an application, the server normally should be providing the core interface of that application. Then they'll be having the client end. So that means the server has to be up. So if you have access directly. So now, if it's a folder or a file, a document, your server has much more high capacity, I mean, in storage. So server should be the one
So
to
the
share.
document, are you saying that
Yeah,
that
the
document
documents,
should be
yes, will be on that
copied
server.
and placed on the server?
Yes, then you share it and give access to the user that would have it. That's the best practice. But if you want it to be on that client machine, there's a simple thing, right? So you also share it. You also just share that folder and say everyone, right? So when you share it, so security, when you share it, you still give it. So this is for security. So you give everyone access to it. Just give everybody access to it. Give everyone access to it, irrespective of the user accounts. That's one. So, but you must have, you first of all share the folder. First of all, share that folder because the file must be in a folder, or the document must be in a folder. So you have to share it first. So this is another route. If you want to um is but this is when you are controlling it, even though you've shared it, you still want to control it. Just like a printer now. A printer doesn't, I cannot share, if I want to share this, I'll need my server, I need to provide the credential. So just like a printer that doesn't have wireless or doesn't have any network functionality. So once that printer is part of the network, from one PC, let's say for instance, a printer is connected to my laptop via cable, I can just go to properties and share the printer on my network. So by the time I share the printer, so everybody that wants to print, right, my printer, their job will be rendered on my machine. That's an option. So that means if my system is not up, they will not be able to share. They will not be able to print. That's if I want to be doing managing, seeing what when the job is being rendered for my PC, I keep track of what the print document and where it's coming from, who printed last. But if I don't want to select that the job will be rendered on my own laptop, then they can print without me getting any notification. But it means that without me even getting tractions. But it means that it also means that my system must be up. If not, they will not be able to print. So that's one. So another way again we can go about doing that, right? If is to come to those user accounts. I don't know why I can't see. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's not on the server level. I mean, Active Directory level. So, but I can still check. So another way we can look at that is when we come here now. Let's take for instance now. We'll create an organization unit for them, right? We create an organization unit for them. So just like we have some of them here, put the three users, right, in that organization unit. So just create where's the organization unit? So just create an organization unit. Then put, let's say, resource department, or HR. Let me say HR department. So when you create, say just create users, just come and create users, right? So and put them, or even though you already have the users, right? So you can come from here, just move them. So that it doesn't mean they are not part of the Active Directory, right? So they're still part of the Active Directory. So just move those users, right? So move them to the HR department, right? So which user am I moving? I don't think I would want to move this. Let me look for a user. All these users. Okay, I can still move them back. Okay, it's long I tested this one. So let me move this. So move to HRO department. Right. So move to HRO department. So we can add more resources or objects to this. We can add printer as well to that department. You can see the just paste the parts of that network printer here, and they will all print that department or that organization, they will print. So now adding them, right? You have your shared folder tied to this department, to this HRO. You will give access when you are sharing that folder, right? So, but since you have Active Directory, the best practice would be to do it via your Active Directory. So now I can come here now and say, okay, this particular user, and this is like the fourth scenario now. If they are not in any organization unit, right? So we can come to this no, not yes. So we can come here and say properties and member of, right? So just give them elevate their user. If those users are important, just elevate their user to maybe domain admin. When you give them domain admin, they will not need to, they will still log in, right? So, but they will not need, they will have access to certain areas in that in this place, right? So places that they are not meant to access, right? So let's say for example, you want to open a certain part, it's requesting for password, you say you cannot have access. But if they are elevated as admin, right, as a domain admin user, right, a domain admin account, let's say domain admin, they will be able to access wherever they want to access. So the best way to do it is via the server, the Active Directory. So it's not just from the user. But if it's on the user, it's a simple local area network format where you share a folder and give everyone rights. It's not even, in that kind of, I think, Mr. Nisi, can you hear me? So
Yeah, I
so in
can
that
hear
kind
you.
of, yes, in that kind of environment where you don't have access directory, right? So where you just create a folder and share, it means that you give everyone, it's not only for those users, it's for everyone. But since you have access directory, you should go via your access directory. So there are several ways to go about it. So I don't know if you grasp.
Yes,